Sports Radio and Television. This is Anthony Rayo, and this is Focus Lake County's radio program, brought to you by Red Apples Media. You'll be able to see this radio program and other Focus TV segments on LSTV, Comcast Channel 13, Bright House 498, and Florida Cable 4, or online at lakesumtertv.com and focuslakecounty.com. Now on stands is our latest issue, which deals with interesting topics and stories from around Lake County in Focus Magazine. We're available at more than 120 locations throughout Lake, and you can visit focuslakecounty.com to see a map of where you can find those locations and those racks. If you visit our site or stay tuned to LSTV, you can also catch the current Focus TV segment hosted by Jay Scott, which highlights and brings to life stories that you'll find in the magazine. And you can listen to us here on WLBE 790 AM, the first and third Thursday of each month at 1:30 in the afternoon. Now we'd like to welcome Sergeant Fred Jones from the Lake County Sheriff's Office, and today we're going to be looking ahead to the summer and starting to plan out what we might be doing on vacation or around the county. There are plenty of options right here in Lake County, but there are a few things to keep in mind about those activities. So we're going to talk to Sergeant Jones about that. Welcome, Sergeant Jones.
No, it's good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So the kids are out of school. Parents are going to have their hands full. We understand that you have a camp for kids. What kind of camp is this, and where is it going to be at?
Well, it's a very good camp, and I can say it's probably unlike any other camp. It's an opportunity for kids age 8 to 12 where they can get together and actually participate in these camps with different activities with deputy sheriffs. And they're dressed down in shorts and t-shirt, and they do things such as water sports with the kids, as well as arts and crafts, and they do safety classes as well with them.
Oh, okay. So what are some of the classes that they find as the favorite classes during that camp?
Yeah, it's interesting. We do the basic things like stranger danger and things of that nature, some internet safety things that we go over. The kids really we bring out some of the different units within the Sheriff's Office, like the SWAT team and the bomb squad and stuff, and they get to learn about different aspects of the Sheriff's Office also.
Oh, wow. So I understand that it's going to take place at 3 different schools across the county, kind of covering the south and the north and the east, or is that the west? So what are those schools, and how can you sign up and get involved?
Okay, well, Umatilla Middle School is going to be one of the first schools. That's going to be June the 22nd through the 26th. The Villages Elementary School is from July 13th through the 17th, and South Lake Charter is from July 20th through the 24th. This is done through the School Resource Division at the Sheriff's Office, and if you were to call their main number 343-2101 and ask for one of the school resource deputy supervisors.
What effect has this program, this Camp for Kids, had on the county and the children that have been involved over the years?
Well, I've had the privilege to do it for years myself and participate in that, and to actually see the bond that happens between the kids and the deputies and the trust that they build going into the school years, because for lack of a better word, you get to humanize the deputy sheriffs to the kids. And it's interesting because they are more apt to come to these deputies now when there's a problem or a concern they may have.
Right. Now, what's parent involvement? Is there any parent involvement or teacher involvement from the schools or the parents in the area?
Well, the Lake County School Board provides the facilities for us, but it's all run by the Lake County Sheriff's Office as well as the Florida Sheriff Youth Ranch. They come out of Barberville, and they send one of their, actually a couple of their youth counselors up there also. The deputies that are in the camp, they've also been the training as far as a youth counselor, and so they have that training as well. At the end of the week, there's a graduation where the parents get to come and watch their kids come across, and we explain everything that happened. We look at some of the arts and crafts, and they get a certificate of participation for that week.
Oh, wow. So is there any cost for the program to parents or children?
There's no cost. This is all funded through grants.
Okay, excellent. And also, how many spots are open? And you were talking about how to get involved and who to call, but how many spots are open and how many are they expecting?
Well, there's usually between 60 and 70 spots somewhere in there. It depends on the size of the school, the facilities that we go to. They fill up fast. They do. And so I would call the School Resource Division as soon as possible, see if a particular week that you're interested in, if that's still open.
Okay, that's excellent. So parents, even though they have their hands full and they might be a little busy with work and what have you, they have a place to bring the children. And what time does it start and go till?
Okay, usually from 8 a.m. or 8:30 till about 4.
Okay. And lunch is provided.
And lunch is provided every day to them. So
and that's a great way for the officers to have a chance to show the children that there's nothing to be afraid of, and that they're not looking to get them in trouble or what have you.
Right. And I like to mention also, I mentioned that this is paid for by a grant, but also there are so many great businesses here in Lake County that also provide lunches throughout the week as well.
Oh, that's neat. So you have sponsors for the program
Right.
and vendors that get involved, and we can go and call the main number there at the sheriff's office, and also check out, there's some information and pictures on LCSO.org.
Yes.
From past ones. Now there's also some programs during the summer and really year-round that help keep children safe. Right at LCSO.org, there's an offender search that's easily accessible for parents and concerned citizens that they can use to check up on their neighborhood. And I understand that Sheriff Borders has an internet safety initiative in the form of a computer cop program, this software disc that's free to obtain. Can you explain a little bit about that and how parents can get that?
Right. The computer cop program, it is a program that you can load onto the computer. There's no icon or anything on the screen that shows that it's there. But what it does is it shows every place your kid goes. If it's a chat room or a website, you get to see where your kid has been. And so it's your way of policing, where your kids go. That way you can start a conversation if there is any kind of problem. So it's a very, very useful tool.
Seems like it would be very helpful.
Yes.
Especially in the summer when the children are home and don't have as much to do and are looking for things to do. The computer or even their cell phones could be somewhere that they might be getting this. Now, how would you be able to obtain that software?
Go by our community services office, and that's located in the mall as well.
Oh, okay.
And they have copies they can give you as free of charge.
Excellent. Now, shifting our focus a little bit, what about boating safety in Lake County? We know it's the summer. There are a lot more residents taking to the lakes to enjoy different activities because the weather is better and there's more available. What are some things that we need to keep in mind if we're going to be boating or going to be on the lakes during the summer?
Well, I think safety first, and we know that alcohol and boating does not mix, first of all. We want to make sure that we have everything we need as far as safety, be it life jackets and other items that we need. And what our Marine unit will do, if you have a group, say a community such as Plantation or some other communities, if you want a Marine unit deputy to come out and talk to you about what you need on a boat, they will come out and do a demonstration. They will tell you some of the needs, some of the things you would need for the boat. And it's just fun because they tell you things like what to do if you run into an alligator on the water. So it's very interesting, and we want to make sure everyone's safe out there.
I'm sure those demonstrations would help too.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, also of concern is traveling during the summer for vacation. Now, people might know a little bit about airport travel or traveling on the roadways, but what are some helpful tips to keep your home safe while you're away?
Right. I think one of the main things is don't invite the burglar in. And what I mean by that is some of the problems we have is the leaving the newspapers, letting the newspapers stack up over a period of time. Make sure that you have a neighbor, or just stop your delivery of the newspapers for a period of time. If you can keep the lawn maintained so it appears as though someone's there. We talk about having a house sitter or someone just to come in, and so that people see traffic in and out of that house and they think that someone is home. Stop delivery of the mail. I have a neighbor pick it up for you. Just signs that burglars look for to see if anyone's going to be home.
Yeah, you were mentioning maybe leaving lights on and things like that. Just simple solutions, even if it's just a weekend getaway.
Right.
Now, there's other programs available. There's a Citizen Patrol program in Lake County. How does that work, and how could somebody maybe get involved in that if they're going to be away?
Right. With the Citizens on Patrol, those are volunteers, and they're not law enforcement, but they do go through a training program, and they do extra patrols sometimes. So if you're going to be away for a while and you want an extra patrol, they're in the communities and they're looking out for you in that way. Right now, they're not accepting applications for the Citizens on Patrol right now. We've had a great turnout for that, but it's something that we will advertise in the future.
Well, that's excellent. That's a nice way to get the community involved, get volunteers to give back and help out. And also, if people have concerns, and it helps out the officers who are out there, because I understand they can call into dispatch as well.
Right, right. And I think, and just to mention, a lot of times we have people who have family, maybe parents that live down here in Lake County, may live up north. We have what's called a senior watch program, which is really great. What that does is, if you live alone, if a senior lives alone, or they don't have anyone to check on them, they're sick, you can sign up for Senior Watch. And what happens, that person calls in every day. And if that person forgets to call in, then the sheriff's office will call. And if we can't reach them, we will either send a Citizens on Patrol or a deputy sheriff out to their home. And we've had a few occasions where we found an elderly person who had fallen and broken their hip, or they couldn't get help, so the deputy was able to get to them and get them the kind of help they need.
Yeah. What are some tips that you might give parents or just citizens in general during the summer, that knowing what the children are up to during the day, how might they be able to do that besides just the programs that the sheriff's office has available?
Right. And, you know, we try to bring that village back together. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to live in a neighborhood, I live with neighbors that may be able to just check on the kids. If the kids know that, you know, there's going to be some form of responsibility where I better be where I'm supposed to be, and, you know, just have that conversation. You know, as a parent myself, you know, I make sure my daughter's aware that, hey, look, there's bad people out there, you know. That offender watch program that we talked about, you know, make sure you know who's living in your neighborhood, and, you know, make sure your kids know, you know, so they stay away from those areas as well.
Yeah, I would understand that would be something really good, and that kind of goes hand in hand with, you know, having concerns being gone for a while, because you know who's in the neighborhood and what's going on. So tell me a little bit more about the kids camp. We'll go back to that for a second because that's coming up soon. Give those dates again.
Yep, June the 6th through the 26th at Umatilla Middle School. The Villages Elementary School has their camp from the 13th of July through the 17th. And South Lake Charter School has their camp from July 20th through the 24th.
So basically all summer while children are out of school, and then first week of August they'll be back. So this kind of covers the whole time for parents and children to have an activity to do.
Absolutely.
Well, that's excellent. Well, thank you for joining us, Sergeant Jones. We'll be right back with Focus Radio, and we'll see you around the corner.
And thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome back to Focus Radio and Television. You're listening to us on WLBE 790 AM, or you could be watching us on LSTV, which is Comcast 13, Bright House 498, and Florida Cable 4. Be sure, of course, to like Focus Lake County on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. And don't forget to pick up your copy of the latest Focus issue, available at more than 120 locations throughout Lake County, and find us on the web at focuslakecounty.com. Now we'd like to welcome the founder of Deliver the Difference, Bob Bostic. How are we doing today, Bob?
We're doing awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on board. Right now, you're focusing a lot of your upcoming summer efforts on feeding local children, and these are some of the children who might rely on meals during the year that they would get at school. How is that effort going, and how long has it been around?
The effort's going very good, because as school winds down, and most people are figuring, here comes summer, it's an exciting time. For us, that's when things start to gear up. As far as how it's going, it's been around for 4 years now. This is our 4th summer. When we first started out, we had a very few children that we provided food to. This summer, we'll have entire communities that we're providing food to.
Yeah, where are some of the areas that you concentrate on?
Well, our big concentration is in the Paisley and the Lake Mac area. And the reason we're in that area is because we looked for areas where there were no other programs that were available to children. Because here in our area in Central Florida and Lake County, 1 out of every 4 children do not know where their next meal's coming from. During the school year, like you said, they count on the free breakfast, the free lunch. But when they're out of school, then they're on their own for food.
Wow. So why is summer so critical? You kind of mentioned that for Lake County families as regards food and other necessities.
Well, summer's critical for a number of different reasons. Number one is, as we've been experiencing lately with the heat here, people are having to turn their air conditioners on earlier. That means that their electric bills are higher. That means that they have less money available for food. And so as a result, children which are home during the day usually find themselves having to scavenge for their own food and what they're going to find.
Wow. So what exactly is Deliver the Difference doing to help the children?
Our Summer Kids Pack program is a program where we will provide 7 days worth of food, breakfast, lunches, snacks, juices, fruits, and it's done in a box once a week. We distribute it out of Paisley, out of the Paisley Methodist Church there, and the families come in, they pick them up, and then they have food for the week for the children.
That's incredible. Now, I understand this undertaking would take a lot of volunteers. How many different volunteers, and where are they coming from?
We have volunteers from all over the county. We have volunteers from up in the villages. We have volunteers from down in Claremont. We have volunteers from out in the Paisley and the Lake Mac area. Typical volunteers, it takes about 40 volunteers every week just to package the food. It'll take another unknown number of volunteers that collect the food, that'll go door to door to their neighbors and say, hey, can you get involved and help us collect food for it? We always have a number of volunteers that are involved in a multitude of ways.
So how are the efforts going here in Lake County to fulfill that mission statement of empowering people to break the cycle of poverty?
The efforts actually are going very, very well. Because not only is our summer program a very key and very important part of what we do, but we also have literacy programs, we also have GED tutoring programs, because it's through education that we're going to break that cycle of poverty. When we give food out, we're giving a handout. But when we help somebody get the education they need to break the cycle, we're giving a hand up, and that's really what we're all about.
Yeah. How exactly did the organization start back in 2010?
The organization started as a result of the Haiti earthquake, and it started because we had several people that came to us and said, could you help us package a rice, soy, dried vegetable meal that we could send to Haiti? We packaged 200,000 meals. And then we started to look at local hunger. We started to hear more about local hunger. At that point in time, we had over 3,000 homeless children in Lake County. And we started to look at how to meet those needs. It started there. It's transformed into an organization that today, not only do we have programs like that, but we also provide food to other food pantries. Like I said, because it's summer, the heat, the air conditioning bills, food pantries are being taxed like never before to provide more food. And so we have been able to source from various areas food that we're able to distribute to the food pantries. And so today we've got roughly 30 food pantries that get food from us on a regular basis in the county.
Yeah, that brings up an interesting question. I was wondering, how is it that you're unique from just, the other food pantries around in the area?
Well, we're unique for a couple reasons. One of them is because of our ability to handle the logistics. Many of the food pantries, if a tractor trailer were to pull up there, they would not be able to handle unloading it. They would not have a place to store it. We have a 20,000 square foot warehouse in Tavares that we are able to bring tractor trailer loads of food in and then distribute it to many food pantries.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, if I wanted to get involved, or if other people want to get involved, how can we do that? Where do we go?
Easiest place to go is to our website, which is deliverthedifference.org, or to our Facebook page, which is Deliver the Difference. Both of them are constantly updated. We have volunteer opportunities all the time there. If somebody said, hey, we want to come out on a Saturday, first and third Saturdays of every month, we have volunteer opportunities. Other volunteer opportunities are listed on the website. And then if you're a student, if you're a high school student, and you say, hey, I need to get some community service hours for my scholarships, we're available Monday or Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We'd love to have you come out, and we can sign your papers and whatnot to give you those hours.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, I understand you've expanded efforts over the years. How have the efforts expanded for Deliver the Difference, and especially the Kids Pack program?
Well, when we first started, we were packaging meals that went internationally. They went to Haiti. Today, what we do internationally is actually a very small portion of what we do, with roughly 95% of what we do right here in Lake County. The Kids Pack program, Originally, when it started, we had 100 kids that we were providing food to on a weekend. Today, over 600 children get food every weekend when they're out of school. In the beginning, we didn't do anything around the holidays. Today, back at Thanksgiving and Christmas, we provided over 25,000 meals that went through 3 different programs that we ran at the holidays. We have literacy programs, we have life skills programs, which a year and a half ago we did not have, but we said we've got to look at how to break that cycle. And so that's where the life skills programs have come in. So many, many changes over the years.
How has this affected you on a personal and an emotional level?
Well, on a personal level, I mean, it totally changed me. On an emotional level, totally changed me. But to understand that, we had a family that came to us back in February when we had our 3 days of winter here in Florida. And the family was homeless. They were living in a tent. And the mother and the father said, do you have food for our children? Because they haven't eaten in 2 days. Do you have any clothes? Because all they had was the clothes on their back. When you're dealing with something like that, it can't help but change. It can't help but affect you emotionally. But with that family, the awesome part of that story is the dad is working full time. The mom has a part-time job now. The kids are in school. They've got a trailer that they are living in now, so they've got a roof over their head, and they are getting things on track. The mom and dad are enrolled in our GED program. So they want that hand up, and by being able to give them that, it's made a huge difference. So that's a success story that makes you feel very good about doing what we do.
Yeah, what kind of testimonials have you gotten from parents that have been affected by this?
We continually get testimonials from parents about how, and many times it's a parent that'll say, hey, you've helped us. Take us off the list now because things have got better. We don't need that help now. But when our children didn't have food on the weekend, when many times their money had run out and they didn't know what they were going to do to feed their children, it was a weekend or it was a holiday and the bags came in.
Now, I was looking at the national average. Right here in our own backyard, you were saying 3,600 students are still classified as homeless.
Yes.
And many in the schools, 75% or more of the students would qualify for free or reduced lunches, making it a full 50% higher than the national average. So how do you think children can learn if they're so hungry?
They can't. And that's the reason for the program. That's the reason for what we do.
Yeah, so how can people join you in changing lives?
Easiest way, if somebody wants to come out and volunteer, go to our website, deliverthedifference.org, give us a call. Our phone numbers, all of our contact information is right on the website. The second way is if you say, hey, I want to do a food drive in my club, my organization, give us a call. We've got a program. We'd love to have you get involved with us.
And you need volunteers, obviously.
We always need volunteers.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Bob Bostic, for joining us here, the founder of Deliver the Difference, and talking to us about the Kids Pack program.